Obviously, as a country, if the population grows, we either have to move up or move out when it comes to housing, and increasingly we are moving up because people want to live in the cities. But you do still need a little bit of grass to stretch on, or get some fresh air, or do some yoga, or whatever it is that takes your fancy. I mean, if I had it my way, that grass would have horses trotting around it, but we can't have that sort of thing anymore. They got rid of Victoria Park in Adelaide, for instance, in the middle of the city. But in Victoria, they charge a green space levy on developments. Now, the idea is that that money gets spent on parks and that kind of thing. But it turns out if you don't subdivide the property, then you don't have to pay the levy. So you have developers putting up these build-for-rent projects, which are full of dog boxes, but they're all owned by one person or business. So they don't have to subdivide, and then consequently, they don't have to pay the tax. Now, you can make the argument, and I probably would, Will, that the tax need not exist in the first place because it's a handbrake on employment and development and housing. We know we're in a housing crisis, etc. But the argument that I think we need to have, and you've been living over in the UK and you're in the US before that, so you've lived in more densely populated places than we have in our capital cities in Australia. I think there's still a desire from a lot of people to have a backyard for the kids to run around in and whatever. And they get forced into apartments because it's really their only choice to get their foot on the ladder of the housing market. So you do have to provide people with some space to go to. And you look at a lot of new developments now, even ones with houses in them. They've got no trees, they've got no backyards, they've got nothing. And I think, who the hell would actually want to live there?
Yeah, of course. Well, look, I don't think we should actually just skirt over the basic point that when you don't run an economy properly, you are forced to put these sorts of stupid taxes and levies and shortcuts in place just to stay afloat, as Victoria has. But the second point, and the obvious point, which everyone on TV watching knows and is thinking, is, our love of multiculturalism and all of the people that come with it means that you are going to change the dynamics of supply and demand, and you are going to have more people competing for fewer houses. And given we're not particularly good at building new houses, that is an issue. That is the easiest lever that we have, and we're not pulling it from what I can see with the current immigration policies of this government.
Oh, come on. We've got so much space. Australia is so spread out.
Okay. Go off and live in the desert then,
No, but
we have so much space, but we don't have much space which is nice to live in.
Even New South Wales, Victoria, we've got bungalows as far as you can drive. I mean, in the inner city Sydney, I can walk from the CBD to a bungalow within 20 minutes, by foot up Oxford Street, right? We have got plenty of room to build decent higher density. And the problem is not that we're building, not the density. We should actually be building more density. We should be bringing, more housing closer into the city so that people can enjoy the benefits of agglomeration, enjoy the benefits of being close to jobs. What we should not be doing is building crap that people can't live in. It needs higher quality, and that means taking off a lot of these levies. Unfortunately, too much of this affordable housing stuff built in means that you're building, that you get cheaper builds, which are not as good to live in, which break down more quickly and are not a great experience at all. So we've got to go the other direction and say, you know what, we want high quality developments, we want them close to the city, we want lots more of them, encourage them, bring it in. It's not going to push your house value down, by the way, it's going to push it up, because more people from good places around the world will want to come and live here. And you know what? Good migrants are always welcome. We are all part of the good migrant one.
Can I just ask Joe quickly, we've only got 30 seconds before the break, but you were telling me recently about the numbers of houses and developments that have defects within the first 5 years recently.
Oh, yeah, so there's been a massive spate in Sydney in particular, and it's not because the developers are paying the levy. The levy is to make these places more livable. So you can't just say, right, here's my 1,000 units, but I'm not going to build any childcare, I'm not going to worry about the plumbing or the sewerage or the drainage or the transport, and they instantly turn into car parks, and they also fall down. There's been a lot of jerry-built projects, and they're not doing it because they're just trying to avoid the levy. They're doing it because they're dodgy. So.
And I mean, you look at some of the stuff that gets built now, you just go, my God, really? Is this the world we're creating for ourselves?